Good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to the Pitch Strike Chronicles, where fans become family. We hope everybody had a great weekend. I had a great weekend myself. Got a lot of time with the wife in. We got some fishing in. And what else was there? Our team won our 7th straight game. So, the Yankees just continue to roll on. And it is something that, you know what? These are games, they're supposed to beat these teams, and they're beating them. They're not giving away games. They're not punting games away. They are just keeping their foot on the pedal and just keep going forward. And it all starts, of course, with the starting pitching, which has been phenomenal. Hill is just, if he's not in the Cy Young contention, I know everybody's starting to talk about the early predictions of who's going to be in the running. How could it not be Luis Hill? I don't see how they can't. How do you guys feel about that statement?
Cy Young, no, but he has been one of the better pitchers in baseball for sure. I don't think he's been Cy Young yet, but considering he just broke a rookie record for strikeouts in a game on this, so happens the last guy to do it was in the stadium. That's pretty impressive. You can't say enough about him. He came into the season with very little expectations from a lot of people. There was a lot of people out there that just said he's the future closer. His stuff is better for the bullpen. Don't overuse his arm, this and that. And he won that job fair and square in the spring. And he has been the Yankees' best pitcher these first 2 months. And if you would have told me that, I don't think I would have believed it, because it just seemed a little too much for the time. It's like, this guy hasn't pitched in 2 years. You expect me to believe he's going to have a 14 strikeout game and be the Yankees' best pitcher in the first 2 months. I wouldn't have believed it, but he's just been so good. And it's been so fun to watch him pitch. And every game, it seems like he gets better and better. And that's a great thing to see, because now you know that this Yankee pitching lab that we talk about all the time, it's real. Like this thing, they're developing pitchers at a scary rate right now. And we've seen it with Clark Schmidt. He's turned into a hell of a starter. And now Luis Hill. And I'm excited to see what we have come through the pipeline in the next couple of years. We're finally getting what we've asked for is for the Yankees to develop pitching. Well, look no further than Luis Hill right now, because he's a perfect example of what taking your time and being smart about how you teach a pitcher and how you build a pitcher up, and you can see what it's doing for the kid, because he's working on a third pitch. Now he's got that third pitch. That fastball was always good. That slider was always good, but he needed the third pitch to be really good. He's got it now, and you're seeing it all come into fruition. There's another conversation that needs to be had about how they're going to manage those innings down the line. But for right now, it's been such a pleasure to watch him.
Stand up for the king of the hill. Luis Hill, man. 14 strikeouts is unbelievable. As Rob says, he's now worked that third pitch. That changeup has changed. Is a game changer. Another game changer is the fact that Garrett Cole's working with him. Garrett Cole is an underrated aspect to this. If you want a true leader, he is that true leader, Garrett Cole, because 90% of people who go down injured maybe rehab by themselves and spend time away from the team. Garrett Cole has never been more involved in the team. He's working with these pitchers and working incredibly hard to come back, and I think he's ahead of schedule in that regard, so you're going to see him sooner rather than later, Garrett Cole. But in the meantime, the leadership that he's shown to sit down with these young pitchers, teach them. It's like Roger Clemens. Like when I was growing up with the Yankees, it was Roger Clemens was working with these young guys. Garrett Cole's doing that, but Garrett Cole also has this nuance and nous of how to pitch and working with these pitches, and I see the work that he's doing with Luis Hill, and it's really paying off. As for Hill himself, remember when he was called up here a couple of years ago, He had no hit stuff. We all said it. It was like he only had the 2 pitches. He only had the fastball slider at that point, but it was no hit stuff. We saw it clear hand. We were like, oh my God, like this guy is incredible. The only thing with him is to locate his pitches. Now he's locating his pitches, and now he's got a third pitch, which makes it even more difficult to track his fastball. You can't sit on a pitch now with Luis Gil, and that's one thing that you could have done with him before. You could maybe sit going, right, well, he's got location issues, so if his slider isn't locating, then we know he's going to have to throw a fastball, and I'll just wait for it. It's not that case anymore because now he's mixing that changeup, and it's making his fastball play higher and faster. So he's almost unhittable to hit, and then that's why you see the 14 strikeouts. He's just a fantastic kid, and he's the future. He's the best Yankee pitching prospect that we've developed since Severino, and at the moment, I see a higher upside than Severino at this point, because I hope that injury issue has already been dealt with. You know, he's gone through it, and I think he's going to be healthy for a long time now. Problem with Severino was the Yankees didn't diagnose that he had an arm issue, and then it kind of sprung up on them when they extended him. With Heel, they dealt with it early, so I think we're going to see something special for a long time with Heel, as long as they let him go and do his thing. Now, as for Cy Young, I think that's probably going to be taken out of his hands, even if he continues to pitch like this, because I think they will manage his innings. But for me, we locked in Rookie of the Year. I don't think there's any question about that.
That's it. You might have a better shot at that. Like you mentioned it.
No one better. So I'm incredibly proud of him. I'm incredibly proud of the coaching and that they've done with him all the way through the minor league system. And I'm very proud of Garrett Cole too, because as I say, he's underrated aspect to this. Because I've you watch these videos and he's who's the first person that's in his ear all the time? It's Garrett Cole. He's talking to him, working with him, and who best to have the best pitcher in baseball to talk to you and believe in you. The fact that he believes in Luis Gil is another aspect to this as well. So there's multi layers to this, but it all comes down to the fact that Luis Gil he's smart. He's incredibly talented, and the fact that he is willing to learn is another great aspect to him as well. The sky is the limit with him. Like, honestly, trajectory right to the very, very top for this guy. He's got ace stuff. He's going to be a number 1, number 2 starter for years to come. I do genuinely believe that. So salute to him. 14 strikeouts is absolutely ridiculous. I don't care what lineup he's taken on. 14 Ks. And 6
innings too.
6 innings? That's ridiculous. Yeah. Dude, that's like Kerry Wood when he struck out 20 for the Cubs back in the 90s. I'm really going back in the 90s today, but it's similar to that, man. It's ridiculous. 14 strikeouts, 6 innings? Crazy.
Yeah, that's lights out shit right there. But we're going to get to some of these comments here and give everybody their good mornings. But before we do that, if you're enjoying this conversation, if you're enjoying what we're doing here, hit that like button, hit that subscription button, share this out with everybody. And we'll start off with Sean's comment that was just pinned right here. He'll call Cole the great professor. And I think, it goes to what we were saying that, Cole's activity, while he's rehabbing and trying to, make his way back, his interactions with the pitching staff has been vital, I think, to why the Yankees have had the pitching that they do. And Damien's comment, morning, Damien, shout out to the offense, allowing the pitching staff to pitch free and easy and not have to feel like they have to be perfect. Plays a major role of how good they have pitched, which is something we talked extensively about in the offseason. And see what else we have here. We got Cold Italian Pizza. Good morning. We do have Seattle up next. We'll get to Seattle later on in the show. They do have good pitching. But I wanted to pull that up before because you guys are killing it in the chat, which we love. So I don't want too many messages to get lost in the feed. So, but to everybody else, we will be going through a lot more comments as the show goes on. But morning to Jonathan, Stephen B, Damian, NFV, Cold Italian Pizza, Joan, we got Sean Browning. Who else we have? Yeah, Sunil is hanging out with us this morning. So to everybody that is in the chat, good morning, welcome, and
your loyalty to this chat is really
Yes.
special to us, and we really do appreciate it. So I just want to say a big thank you to you all that always check in on us on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You guys are the goats, and please share it out to your friends and family or anyone else that you haven't done so already. Let's continue to grow this family because we've got a lot of exciting things to talk about. I think this team is a very special team.
Yeah, and the next player I want to highlight, aside from Heel, I want to go switch to the offense for a moment. How about the series that Stanton had? I think he's as locked in as anybody on the roster. He's really. We always say, when he's hot, it comes in a burst. But he's really extended this hot streak that he's been on. We haven't seen this from him in a while, because of all the injuries. So I wanted to bring his name out specifically because of that. We saw the transitions in the offseason of how he was changing his body shape and his regimen. Can we expect to finally have that healthy Stanton that we've been yearning for?
Before we get to that, in a decade, who's better, Heel or Yamamoto? Heel, don't at me. Give me Luis Heel, baby.
I think it's
I don't know. Yamamoto has been just fine. There's a lot of criticism about him because he doesn't have like a 1 ERA or anything. I'm hoping you guys can't hear that. The fucking landscapers are out there again. But that's why I've been muted for the whole time. I think Yamamoto's been just fine. But
he might be fine, but Heel is much better than him already.
Right, but it's 2 months in. I don't want to. I know a lot of people hate Yamamoto for going to LA and all that, but let's pump the brakes on Yamamoto.
That's not to do with hatred. I don't care.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you. I'm saying people out there like they're so angry at him. They're looking for every possible reason to go after him. But he's been fine. Heel's been great. He's been better than anyone could have expected. And who's better in a decade? I don't know. I'm hoping it's Heel, though. I'll tell you that much. I hope it's Heel.
All I'll say is, Heel hasn't had any major league experience, but Yamamoto's experienced all kinds of levels. WBC, all through the Japanese leagues, ace there, comes in with a big price tag. You would have expected him to be pitching better than Luis Heel at this stage, and he's not. So, plus Luis Heel's rehabbing from a serious injury. I don't know, man. I think Heel's got that little bit of X factor that I'm not seeing from Yamamoto yet. But that's just maybe being biased. I'm not sure. But as I do hatred, I could care less what he's doing now. What I will say is I think the other Japanese pitcher from the Cubs is the one that we should have gone for, Imanaga.
He's so freaking good.
He's really good. That kind of stuff translates, and also low key, he had more strikeouts in the Japanese league than Yamamoto. So maybe teams fell asleep on that.
Yeah, I think the scouts fell asleep because a lot of the criticisms with him was, the small hands and gripping the ball.
Yeah.
And that I think that scared teams away. But the Cubs were in a position where they had nothing to lose to go, to be aggressive on him. But so I think that's just the way things played out, and I think it was a big L on the scouting departments of a lot of these teams because 29 other teams, weren't aggressive enough for him. He's been good.
Frank, that's why you need to watch the Pinstripe Chronicles because from day one, we've been very much on Team Heel, while other podcasts weren't on that bandwagon. We've been riding with Heel. I certainly was. I had articles written about how this guy was the man. So check in on the Pinstripe Chronicles, man.
Yeah, no, Frank's been Frank's been he's been
No,
watching
I
for
know
a
that,
while.
but that's what I'm just
Yeah,
saying in general, just to
but
anybody watching. That's why you watch the
Also,
Pittsburgh Cardinals.
but let's be fair here. Nobody could, like Joan just said, nobody could have predicted this. Nobody would have, if you would have told anybody out there that by May 9th or May 20th, the Yankees would have the best ERA in baseball, from one of the best rotation ERAs in baseball without Garrett Cole, you think anyone would have actually believed that? I wouldn't have. Because I would
no,
have been like, well, no, because Cortez, how many innings is Schmidt giving you? Luis Heel is coming back from injury and he's going to be limited. No, I wouldn't have believed it. So, yeah, I also wanted a starting pitcher. I said, go get me Blake Snell. I'm not going to hide away from it. I wanted
No, I
Dylan
wanted a
Cease. I
starting
wanted
pitcher,
him.
but I wanted
Right.
Heel to be in the rotation. That's all.
Right, of course, so did I. But this has nothing to do with like joining the bandwagon or anything. It's just nobody really thought this was going to be the case 2 months into the season. The rotation would be just this good. So this isn't to start an argument. It's just who could have predicted this? That's why everyone's so happy about it. It's because Luis Heel has gone from a hopeful to legitimately one of the best pitchers in the league right now, and that's why we're all happy about it. We're all excited.
well, yeah, and I was one of those. I was one of the bullpen guys. I admitted to that because anybody can go and rewind the tape. I wanted him to get a fair shot to come back, but we were we were more focused on having stability in rotation, which is why there were parts of the fan base that wanted the Blake Snells, Montgomery, guys like that. But Heel has flipped a big middle finger to me and other people that were hesitant, and good for him.
And salute to Sunil. John Flaherty absolutely butchered Imanaga's name. He called him Imanga the other
He's
day.
better than me calling him Umaga.
Yeah, but you're not hired by the Yes Network to be the Yankees announcer, for Christ's sake. Imanga. Come on, man.
But I got just as much, if not more, influence than Michael K. I might be more liked Michael K. But let's get back to Stanton, because I think he deserves to have his name on the marquee for a little bit. But yeah, you're right, NFV. No, I think Stanton made the statement. It was in the chat earlier. He wanted, his goal was to be like a comeback player of the year, and he's delivering. He's delivering. He's he had that. It took him a while. I know that the strikeouts early in the year, but if you look at a lot of the power bats throughout the league, they're not tearing it up. Yeah. They're not like they were saying on I forget who was saying it on one of the broadcasts, that the problem, that the pitching is so far ahead of the hitting throughout baseball right now. You're seeing a lot of low score games, despite the increase of the rules to improve the offense. The offense hasn't caught up to the rule changes yet. You still see a lot of ball. How many? Look at Torres for a while. Line drives, right at somebody's chest. They're not taking advantage of the fact that they're not shifting anymore as much as we expected them to, or not as much as I expected. Stanton's found a way to adjust himself to maximize his ability, and he's hitting the ball so hard that the infielders can't move to catch it. Because he does have that insane bat speed, and the exit velo when he makes contact it's record breaking. He's already broken he broke 2 records in 2 days.
It's a weapon, is what it is. His bat speed and his exit velocity should be considered a weapon, and it should be illegal to have that. But the only thing with Stanton was his health. Just stay healthy, and this is what he's going to be. We can't stress that enough. Last year, they rushed him back. He was playing hurt, trying to be a hero because Aaron Judge was out and we had no offense. So Stanton had to try to contribute. He was terrible. 2022, he came back for the second half. He was playing hurt. But before that, he was an all-star. 2021, he put the team on his back and carried us to the postseason. Giancarlo Stanton just needs to stay healthy, and he's going to produce. We're the first team in baseball with 3 players double-digit home runs. And the 3 suspects you'd exactly expect to have there Judge, Soto, Stanton. Giancarlo Stanton has been very good this year. And a lot of people are kind of letting that go under the radar. He has been very good. He's looking very Stantonian again. And he's doing the exact same thing he did before he got hurt last year, before he got hurt the year before. So it's never been he's losing it. Oh, he's washed up. He just needs to stay healthy. And if by losing all that weight and dropping a little bit of that muscle mass was what keeps him healthy, great. He has clearly not lost that bat speed, and he has clearly not lost the exit velo. He's still a very strong dude, and you're seeing it. He is murdering these baseballs, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a warrant out for his arrest sooner or later with the way he's swinging the bat right now, because that's a weapon. And it's so fun to watch him hit the way he's hitting because there's no relief in this lineup anymore because Torres is starting to hit. Trevino's been red hot. The bottom of the order is not an easy out. John Birdie just hit a 3-run home run yesterday. Everybody's contributing, and there's no relief, and that's why the Yankees are so quickly coming back in these games. Stanton's a big part of it, but now the lineup is complete. Even when guys are struggling, someone else is stepping up. Over the last couple of weeks, that's been Stanton. He's come up in big spots. Soto had a little bit of a rough patch. Completely forgot about it with the way he played the other night. He was fantastic, but Stanton's been great. Judge has been great. Three-headed monster, exactly. I love watching this version of Giancarlo Stanton, but if the biggest key with him, just keep him healthy. Whatever way possible, keep him on the field or keep him off the IL, and he's going to be doing this.
So the big thing for me is the fact that he took a little bit of weight off. I think it's helped his agility. I think it's helped his body's ability to bounce back because this is the healthiest he's ever looked as a Yankee. And that includes his first year where he hit 30 home runs and 100 RBIs. He was carrying an injury for the last month or two of the season, but he was playing through it because we had so many injuries that year. But he just looks a little bit more agile this year. And he's not running any faster, no, but his bat speed is right there. And as you say, Rob, his bat speed is a weapon. He is mashing the ball. He is mashing. Yeah. So you don't need to be built like He-Man to hit the ball 500 feet. You have to have elite bat speed. He's got elite bat speed. He's got the best bat speed in the majors in many ways. It's ridiculous what he does, man. He's mashing. Some of those balls that he was hitting in that whole White Sox series, he was destroying pitches, bro. There was a couple times where the wind maybe kept a couple in because he could have had tons of home runs in that game against the White Sox. That series against the White Sox, he was absolutely roasting pitches. So it's very fun to watch. I have to say that trio that we have with Verdugo in between, breaking up the lefties and righties and adding a little bit more athleticism in there in the 4-hole has made this batting lineup long and very exciting. You're talking about Soto, then you're talking about Judge, then you got Verdugo to hopefully get on base for Big G. That's crazy, and they are crushing the ball. That trio, crushing it. So, this offense is going to be fun, guys. I fully recommend people to set aside some money to go to Yankee games and enjoy watching these games in the summer because I think these guys are going to put on a show this summer. It's going to be hot, balls are going to be flying off the bats, and now that they're starting to get comfortable with the season, you're already seeing Judge do crazy things. We've already seen Soto have an MVP caliber year to this point, and Big G, this is the best he's looked since the first year as a Yankee. So, and we've always, as a supporters, been supporters of him as a podcast. We've always kind of believed in him. It's always been about health with him, man. It's never the case that he's shot. Oh, he can't do this. Oh, his knees are shot. It's really a lot of the fact that he just needs to stay on the field. Stays on the field, he's productive, man. He'll always give you around about 800 OPS as long as he's fully healthy. And this is what he is right now. He is fully healthy, and he looks fantastic. Very happy for him, man. And he's a good dude, too. He has always been very, 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 very accountable and team first guy. So if anyone deserves this really good hot streak and run, it's Big G.
Yep. And this comment here from Damien, nails it. Big G going up, a big indicator he's seeing the ball really well.
Yeah,
Him
great
and
point.
Judge, they're going right, left, center. They're all over the place. And Jared jumped into the chat. Good morning, Jared. He asked for our thoughts on Gleyber Torres. Robin said earlier that his at bats are looking a lot better. He's starting to get hot again. But it brings into one of the things I wanted to bring up this morning because the post came out on X that Peraza is assigned to, he's off the IL and is
Signed to
been
AAA.
assigned to AAA. So what does this mean going forward? Are they going to, what do you assume the plan is with Peraza? Especially also LeMahieu's in his rehab starts. So now that we're seeing some of these guys that we spent a lot of time on discussing in the offseason are, and Cole's not that, Cole will come back when Cole comes back. I think having guys like Peraza and LeMahieu are more, it's going to sound wrong, but it'll make sense when I say it, when I finish, are more important to the health of this team than Cole. Because we need to have guys that can give Rizzo days off. Get Cabrera, out of the steady third base role, which Birdie's been doing a good job with that platoon. We need to give Torres days off. So getting the infielders back is going to change the dynamic of how they put the lineups together. How do you do that in a healthy way and keep the vibe going? Because the attitude and the rally within these guys day to day. How do you take a risk? Is it a risk to disrupt that?
No, Torres he's been hitting his last 7 games. He's a 321 hitter. He's got an OPS over close to 900. At this point, you're not going to sit Torres. As much as I want to see Peraza play, I'm pretty confident that there's no role for him here. And I'm going to put my personal feelings aside.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Yankees are making the right decision. Because if you have him sitting on the bench, he doesn't do anything for you. And you're hoping that if he just rakes again in AAA, there's some team out there that'll be like, hey, we'll give you so-and-so. Because right now, Peraza's best chance to succeed in the major leagues is with another team. That's just a simple fact. It's not going to happen here unless there's a major slew of injuries that puts him on the team. I thought he would have been called up for Jahmai Jones, but since Jahmai Jones barely plays, that's why they're going to hold on to him. We have LeMahieu coming back. Birdie just came back, and he's playing well. Unless something goes seriously wrong, I don't see Peraza playing a lot here. But right now, we don't really need him because Birdie's hitting, Torres is hitting. LeMahieu looked great in his rehab game. That's a good sign. He said he feels good. He was running hard. He was hitting well. So where does he play? And that right now with 2 guys successfully or playing successfully and another guy coming back who you're paying $15 million to, I don't see that Peraza gets a shot here. So when LeMahieu's back, he'll probably start at third. You'll still have Birdie come off the bench. That's probably when Jahmai Jones gets DFA'd, and that's how things are going to work out. Peraza probably will be part of a trade package this year if they go out and get like a starting pitcher, if they need to get a starting pitcher or a bullpen arm or something. I don't know what they can get for him, but it seems like right now there is no way he gets on the team. But right now we don't need him, and that's a good sign. So let him get play every day in AAA, maybe build his value back up, and some team will take him off your hands for hopefully something of good return. I'm not saying just give him away for a pack of peanuts, but try to get a good return for him because he is still a special talent.
Yeah, this is a tough one. But I firmly believe that we should move on from Gleyber Torres and give Peraza a shot. You look at what Peraza's doing in that rehab assignment. He was absolutely mashing. Did you see some of his shots? He's got low key power. You just need to give him an extended run. Plus, his defense is excellent. His defense is already better than Gleyber Torres. So that's my belief. That's my contention. I would, if you're giving me the choice of trade Peraza now and hope that Gleyber Torres gives you a 260 batting average and some really ghastly plays on defense for one season and move on from him, it doesn't make much sense to me. I would say that we should keep Peraza in AAA, regular at bats, and scour the trade market for Torres for the trade deadline. I wouldn't miss Torres one aspect because he's not really even this hot streak. He's hit a couple of balls really hard, but still only got a couple of home runs, and he says OPS is still less than 600. It's completely unacceptable. You can't tell me Peraza couldn't do that, even in his worst run. So I'm sorry, man. You got to give this guy a chance. But the Yankees are doing the right thing right now. As of right now, they're doing the right thing. I don't want Peraza sitting on the bench. That's a terrible idea. You've got Birdie, who's looking excellent. Birdie will now get regular at bats, especially against lefties, because he's got really good numbers against lefties through his career. So got him there. You got Ozzy. Ozzy's more than earned the right to stay here on the roster and be a guy that can play third base every day if required, or you can share third base with Birdie. So he's earned that. And then you got DJ LeMahieu. So that Jahmai Jones will be gone once DJ's ready. The Yankees are playing that smart. They're playing it completely smart. So I've got no complaints with the way the Yankees are handling this right now. Peraza needs to be in AAA, get him regular at-bats. Hopefully he gets really hot. And if he gets really hot, then the Yankees have a good problem to have. Then they'll be like, right, we've got a guy that is mashing in AAA. He's ready. If he's not mashing, fine. There's no rush on him. If he is mashing, say, by the summer, by the deadline, then you're like, okay, we've actually got someone significant here that's ready to play every day. Now I think we can look for the trade market for Gleyber Torres. And I don't think we'd miss Torres. I really don't. What would we miss?
No, well, that's what I thought would make the conversation interesting is because
it is interesting.
It's Peraza could be our future when we know that Torres is not. So I think the way that they're going to play it, if it was my call, not that he did anything wrong, it's just he's not. There's no room for him. Jahmai Jones is going to get DFA'd when DJ gets back. I leave Cabrera where he is. I just let him play. And I use DJ as my utility player until I have 110% faith that he can stay healthy with that foot. Because that's been a big hinge in his health for a while. So I'm not putting him into everyday play and taking that risk of him going down yet again. Because then, then what do we do?
Oh, look at this cutie! Look at this cutie! No, that's fair, man. Like I think it's a patient approach is good with DJ. You don't want to completely rush him, but I don't think it'll take too long until DJ's ready, and then you've got a serious conversation to have. The DJ plays second base, and Birdie and Ozzy share time at third. And I think our infield would be better. That's a very cute dog, by the way.
She's awesome. And you just let Peraza continue to build himself up in the minor leagues. Leave him in AAA. You don't play the up and down game with him.
No.
They already committed to writing out the year with Torres. To this point, just stick with that plan. Just get every ounce you can out of him and just
good point, Damien.
Let him go.
Yeah, that's the Damien brings up a great point there because he is struggling right now. Now, come July, who's to say that Gleyber won't be back to what he was last year or somewhat close to that? It's hard to trade that away, especially when it's an all-in season.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the position they're in right now. The Yankees are going to have 3 or 4 players that are more than capable of playing second or third base every day on their roster in about 2 weeks when DJ's back.
Facts.
Torres is still one of those players. I don't think this is him. It's taken him a while to get going, but he is starting to get better gradually. Over his last maybe 2-3 weeks, he has been a much better hitter. Hopefully that translates well when the weather warms up. And now it is warming up. But it's hard to say trade him now or trade him in July when we don't know what his stat line is. If he's playing like this, no one's going to want him, and you're going to get nothing for him. I still believe the time to trade him has passed.
Yeah.
So if that means you move Peraza, if he builds his value back up, when you have several infielders in your system that are going to come up in the next couple of years, I believe Vivas is going to be that guy anyway next year. It might be the time to move Peraza. But again, this all depends on how Torres is playing. If he's playing well, someone might give you a king's ransom for him and force your hand and be like, okay, we can't pass this up. We're not going to re-sign him. But then do you want to break up what a good lineup we could have if a hot Gleyber Torres is hitting in the 5th or 6th spot or wherever he may be? That's a difficult thing to do because we've seen Peraza come up after being red hot and not necessarily play well. Now, he wasn't given extended periods of playing time, but that's always a difficult thing to do. So it's a tough situation that we're still 2 months away from. So we just kind of got to wait and see. But there's so much conversation to be had there. But if DJ is DJ, he's going to have to get playing time. Cabrera's earned it. Birdie is earning it. So it's just so difficult to think about this right now because we don't know what it's going to look like in July. But Norman brings up a really good point too about there's that lazy element that people want to bring up about Torres all the time. It's like things like this that you're like, get this guy off the team. You'd rather have the high energy, but he is also very well liked in the locker room. We saw what trading Montgomery a couple of years ago did to that clubhouse. It kind of messed things up a little bit. Would that be a case here? As much as we may want to get rid of Torres or knock down his playing time, he is still a very, very loved teammate in that clubhouse. Who knows what that can do to the locker room chemistry? So I don't know.
Yeah, I know. You're right about that. But again, I really think that that's something to do with the management. That's on the manager to ensure that there isn't any fall off and drop off. I mean, at the end of the day, Gleyber Torres completely tanked after he found out he was in trade talks. Mentally, he was cooked, and that's unacceptable from his point of view. And then, yeah, you're right. The Montgomery going down affected the locker room. I think it was a little deeper than that, though. I think they were like, why are we trading a starting pitcher that we can rely on every 5 days for someone who's not going to be a long-term answer at center field? It didn't. In hindsight, didn't make a lot of sense. But if Aaron Boone can keep things tight, then there's really the Yankees can't be bothered, can't be troubled with that. That's why Brian Cashman, he's always said, I will always try and find ways to upgrade this team. So if trading him upgrades the team, then it's a no-brainer.
Well, that's why I think
the Knicks made major trades, and then they basically had an entirely new roster after the NBA trade deadline, and there was no drop-off in the locker room. In fact, the locker room got better, and then the Knicks ended up trading like guys that were a big part of like the locker room and the community and stuff like that. And they didn't fall off; they got better. So it does have a lot to do with the locker room and management and coaching. If the coaching's good, then the locker room won't be affected. So I don't think the Yankees should be troubled by that. If there's an offer there to get Gleyber Torres off the books that allows our young guys to come through, then I think you got to do it because he's not a long-term answer. And I am sick of his lazy plays. I really am. Even when he's quote-unquote hot, he's still making these lazy plays. However, Damien's right about the leg kick thing. I've noticed that whenever Gleyber does drive the ball, he doesn't have a big leg kick. His feet are very secure on the ground, and he's driving the ball through. But it kind of comes and goes with him. And that's the problem. And you're right, TC. They don't want to hurt his feelings. You're right.
Exactly. And I'm like, my point of view is, look, we already saw, they proved me, I never thought that they would, they're not going to trade a fan favorite just to trade him. You know what I mean? But don't worry about that. Look, we'll adjust to the next guy because we're fans of the uniform, not the person. We'll enjoy the player while they're here, But it doesn't matter who's wearing that uniform. We're going to cheer for them when they make a play, when they come up to the plate. We're going to get behind whoever's on this roster. So I'm not worried about Glaber's feelings. I really could give a shit.
No, I could give a shit.
If the opportunity comes where, I think if you get a team that's kind of out of it, but they just need like one little compliment piece. Not that Torres is a compliment piece on many teams, but $15 million for him is not. It's not a lot of money for a team to take a risk on if they find themselves in a position of need.
Yeah, there's just not that many teams that want to take on payroll. That's the big thing. So that's something to pay attention to. But let's not focus on Gleyber Torres. We've got so many positive things to talk about. I mean, this whole series was just amazing. The record-breaking pitching staff right now we have. Our entire starting rotation is pitching to a sub-1 ERA right now over the last period of time. They're pitching to a less than one ERA. That's mind-blowing. Can you guys believe that? This is without Garrett Cole. I can't speak enough about what Matt Blake is doing. Incredible work he's doing. He is a brilliant pitching coach. And what about Clay Holmes? This is a new man. This is a new guy. I never saw this coming. So I'm so proud to take the L on this one. I'm rarely wrong, but I got this one completely wrong. This guy's fantastic. Clay Holmes is absolutely fantastic. Very, very, very happy that he's turned this thing around. He's an excellent closer. He's our guy. To be this far into the season and have a 0.00 ERA, craziness. And he's reliable now as well. He's really reliable. Now I'm actually looking forward to him coming in rather than being worried about it. Now I'm like, good, we got a lead. We're going to be fine. We got Clay Holmes. So what a difference. What a difference. The offense, there's a difference in the offense too. We'll touch on the offense more as we get on. But pitching has just been one of the major aspects because that's really the foundation point. You see, last year, we had to pitch basically perfect games to even have a shot at winning because we had no offense after Aaron Judge went down. This year, it's different. Now we've got a murderer's row offense. So the offense is like, hey, if our pitcher can give us 6 innings of 3-4 run ball, we're going to be in every single game, every single one. We're going to be in every single one. And our pitching staff has been better than that. So the Yankees are raking because of it. Our offense is good. And a lot of it is because our starting pitching has been the foundation. Every single guy that comes up in our rotation, you can pretty much guarantee is going to give us a quality start. Including Nestor Cortez, who I'm not that high on. That says a lot. So even Cody Poteet walked in and gave us a quality start. And so, you're talking about a ton of quality starts and depth, and then Garrett Cole's going to come in, and it's going to continue. This team is for real. This team is special. This team's going to win 100 games.
Do you ever notice whenever there's a player that we've just almost completely fed up with, and we'll just overly critique him, his next outing, he just freaking kills it? Because we were not really too nice with Cortez the other day, and then he goes out and he just shuts us all up. Stanton, who we were supporting the whole time, I'm like, I'm running out of patience, and look what he's doing this year. So maybe that's the key. Maybe we just need to be more critical.
Yeah, then you're getting into the whole overly critical just to be just for the reverse jinx thing. But Nestor Cortez at home is one of the best pitchers in baseball. When he's on the road, he's one of the worst pitchers in baseball. That's the simple thing. The other day when I asked, are we at home? And you say, okay, Nestor's going to be great. And he was.
Yep.
So, yeah, they just keep Nestor in Yankee Stadium at all costs. Don't have him pitch on the road, or else you'll be playing 3-0 in the first inning. But yeah, you can't say enough. This rotation is very good, very, very good. Everyone is piggybacking off each other. Carlos Rodon really stepped up yesterday. He had the first inning was a little rough. He gave up a home run. Then he has his usual hit batter per start. gives up another run, and the offense gives it right back to him. So here you go. Here's 2 runs. Go out. It's a shutout. It's a 0-0 game again, essentially. Go get it done. And he got it done. Blew a kiss to the fans again, and he was fantastic. So he's been great. He said it yesterday. This feels like home. That's a great thing to hear because it was tough he said it was kind of tough to adjust last year, especially with dealing with what he was dealing with, the struggles, the big contract. He's getting booed. They're talking trash about him for the whole blow and kiss thing. And now we love it that he's blowing kiss to the fans. You want to hear a Yankee say that this feels like home. He feels comfortable coming in there and pitching. And Damian, we hate the whole team. They all suck, and they're not going to lose ever again. That's the reverse jinx factor. But it's fun to watch because every game you're looking forward to seeing who's gonna top what the previous starter did. Rodon could not top what Heel did, but he had a pretty good game himself. Nestor was fantastic. Yeah. So now you got to say, okay, what's Stroman going to do tonight? Because Stroman bounced back. It's fun to watch, and that's what we wanted to see because we knew this team had a load of talent. But now that we're seeing everything kind of click at the same time, it's fun to watch. We're not going through those lulls of being like, oh, it's 7:00 and we put on yes. Now it's like, all right, it's Yankee time. Let's go. Yep. That's the drastic difference from this year to last year. Even with John Flaherty putting me to sleep half the time, I'm still looking forward.
We'll get into that. But, Rob, I do want to pick up on one thing you said, piggybacking. I wrote this down and underlined it, piggybacking, because that's what they're doing. They're piggybacking on each other. And they're trying to they're all trying to pitch as well as possible and try and one up the other guy. It's a great thing. You know what's contagious? Not just slumps, but winning is contagious, and that's what's going through this team right now. They all want to be like they're all seeing how everyone's doing great, so they're like, I want to be part of this. I want to, and because we saw Nestor Cortez. What did he say? He said, I had to go and have a good start because I was looking at all the rest of the rotation. They were all winning, and I was the one guy that collected an L in the previous 5 starts. So I said I had to go and have a good outing. What does that mean? Piggybacking. Rob nailed it in one. Piggybacking.
Yeah. Nobody.
That also speaks to Aaron Boone. He's really cultivating a very good locker room this year. So anyone who says that he can't manage, well, I'm sorry, but this is part of management. If you've got guys that want to be better, get better, and continue to emulate each other, piggyback off each other. That's good management. That's a good locker room. This is the first time I've really seen it. So shout out to the management as well.
Well, and that's exactly what it is. Nobody wants to throw that pitch that cost them a game. Nobody wants to take that swing that doesn't drive in the run. They all, it's just clicking. It's clicking. And the term piggybacking, perfect. There's no term better for it. And like Rob said, last year we were dreading having to watch this shit. This year it's an event. Every night we're getting an event that we get to watch, where we just can't wait. Who's it going to be tonight? It's you're looking forward to the rotation getting on the mound. You're not scared shit every time the bullpen comes into the game. If it's a tight game and they're bringing in Holmes, we may get a little nervous, but we don't panic. It's very different aura this year. It's been a blast to watch.
And on our power trio are emulating and piggybacking off each other as well. Yeah. Stanton, Judge, and Soto. I mean, those are 3 guys you cannot miss. Whatever you're doing, you got to make sure you're sitting down to watch one of those 3 each time they're up at plate. Especially Soto, like he's unmissable. Even if he makes an out, it's an event because of the way that he interacts with the catcher, with the pitcher, and then he's nodding like, all right, that was a good pitch. I'm going to absolutely blast this next pitch 500 feet. You watch me. It's like Babe Ruth style balls, and he usually does it. Like, what was that home run that he hit against the Orioles, man, where he hit it into outer space and he hit it into downtown Baltimore? The pitch before, he was like, all right, I got you. And then the next pitch, 600 feet. And then a bat flip, and he stares down the pitcher. That is balls. That's the kind of stuff that the Yankee fans are going to love. New Yorkers love, and he's perfect for this team. So every at bat is an event. We've got 3 of the fastest freaking guns in the West coming up, doing some crazy stuff offensively. So, and then you got a really good pitching staff. So this team's going to be fun, guys.
Yep. Yeah, it's like we've been saying, and Steve's sure that was the one. Yep, right to Utah Street. Yeah, we haven't seen this type of team in a long time. It's can't miss TV for the Yankees, and it's absolutely right. And we're in praising mode. One, Crystal Flash, welcome, good morning, good to see you on there. And Medina, yeah, thoughts are still with you. With your loss, we're glad that you're able to come on here, and hopefully we're giving you a healthy distraction, and some friends to lean on. But I want to get to one of the last segments of the show. What was that one? What comment was that? Pull that back up.
Neil.
No, don't pull it back up. We need a award in honor of John Sterling. No. We haven't. We'll give it an award. You're right there, Rob.
Anytime you can rip on Sunil, I'm gonna laugh. So, thank you for that one.
All right. Donald, what time is it?
It's awards time! Right, guys? Who's the MVP of the series? Let's get started, baby. MVP of the series. Let's start with Uncle Tats. Thank you for the great introduction. Uncle Tats, who is your MVP of this series?
Mine, Stanton. Stanton was this series MVP for me. He was. I think he was the hottest bat.
Facts, bro. Facts. Robinho.
I'm doubling down. Spoiler alert. I'm giving this to Luis Gil. 14 strikeouts, 6 innings, rookie strikeout record. MVP. As good as the bats were, I can't give it to one singular guy. Everyone stepped up so many times. Give me Luis Gil.
Can't argue that one.
Can't argue with that either. Donald needs to be in a suit for the picture. All right. Well, I don't have time to put a suit on, but
he had the dress shirt underneath.
Okay. So my MVP is Big G. The G-Force. He gets the MVP. There's no question. Offensively, he was the MVP of the series. Yeah. Everything he hit was either hitting off the wall or going over the wall. So, dude was absolutely raking. So he's the MVP. The low-key MVP. Oh, of course, we need to ask the fans. Sorry about that, guys. The fans. Who is the MVP for you guys? Let's ask the fans. We've got Sean saying Stanton, Stevie saying Stanton, Jonathan saying Heel, Frederick saying Heel, Sunil saying Stanton, NFE says Heel, I believe. So it's between Heel and Stanton, guys. No, he's changed it to Stanton. All right. Looks like Stanton's just edged it, just at the end. So Big G will get the fans MVP award. Let's go to the low-key MVP. Let's start with Robinho.
This one I'm giving to Giancarlo. If Luis Gil didn't have a record-breaking performance, Giancarlo would have been my MVP.
All righty. Uncle T.
Yeah, see, my low-key was Luis Gil. The rookie record without Duque in the building. And he got it was really close, but it really with Stanton and Gil, there was no wrong answer. It was just they were that good.
Okay. Are you guys forgetting about a certain Juan Soto who went 4 for 4 with multiple home runs in a game? He was fantastic this series. that quiet little run that Soto had, well, whatever he did in the batting cage certainly paid off because he was impossible to get out again this series. Juan Soto is back, baby. He never left. Juan Soto is a low-key MVP. It was actually really close between him and Stanton for the MVP, actually, to be honest. So it's almost like Soto is so good that we're all just like taking it for granted a little bit. Like that guy had a legitimately great series, so he gets the low key MVP. Soto wins every award except the bad ones. Yeah, spoiler alert: he's never gonna get the L from me. I don't care what he does. I love that man so much. So the fans. Who the fans got as a low key? Sunil says low key is heel. Jonathan says low key is Soto. And Peachmal 693 says Zed heel. So I assume he meant heel. Sean says don't forget Judge. All right, we're gonna put him down as a low key for you. Nosebleed so opened his door and then his bat woke up. So lots of different ones. What do we think, guys? Who should we give the low key to?
I think Soto's getting it.
Yeah.
Jones says Trevino, Birdie.
Birdie deserves a shout out. Good job. Trevino deserves a shout out. That's why we're going to go to the Clutch Award next. And the Clutch Award, I'm going to start. I'm giving it to Jose Trevino had a fantastic series, and he was involved in all the clutch moments. What about when he threw the guy out at third? Bang, like that. That was an incredible throw. I thought he couldn't throw anymore. Dude absolutely nailed such a good throw that the cameras didn't catch up to it. He absolutely nailed the guy out at third. That was clutch. Then he had numerous hits that brought in runners from scoring position. Trevino was the clutch. So great job, Trevino, man. Salute to him. Let's go to Uncle Tats.
Yeah, originally I was thinking, Trevino because of his glove, but there was another at bat yesterday that had me really change my perspective. And I'm giving my Clutch Award to Birdie. I thought his home run last night, it was his first one of the year, a 3-run shot, and it put the game out of reach to secure the sweep.
Yeah, so that's a good shout, man. That's a good shout because I was thinking about that as well when I was debating which one to give because that was such a big moment. That kind of won us the game. Rob.
I don't care what they say about you, Uncle Tat. You're a smart man because he had the exact same answer as me. That home run that's what got the sweep. John Birdie, of all people, sends one over the wall. And it was a porch job, whatever you want to call it. That was a big hit. And as good as Trevino was, I hate taking an award away from him because he was so good. But I feel like that got the dugout rocking again. Because even though the game was tied, it was like, I hope they don't fall into this kind of like a struggling offense. And then Birdie says, boom, game was out of reach. Yankees got the sweep.
Facts. The pitching award. I mean, I think we've all kind of covered it, but it must be heel, right?
Yeah.
It could be, although you could argue the whole rotation. So let's start with Rob, who is getting the pitching award for you, man.
Said I'm doubling down. I can't give him MVP and then not give him best pitcher, Luis Heel.
Yeah, that's true. Uncle T.
Yeah, I have Heel as my pitching award.
Yep. As do I. That's 3.
We have a lot of couple heels, the rotation.
So go 2 for heel, 1 for the rotation, 3 for heel, 4 for heel. Okay, that looks like heel's another 1 for heel as well. So yeah, heel's running away with it.
That was easy.
Another 1 for heel. Everyone loves the heel, the king of the heel. So that's a clean sweep for heel. What an outing for heel! My God, so good. Anyway, the L. Who's getting the L? Not a lot to give. I can't consider there's too many people that deserves an L. But let's ask Rob. Who do you think gets the L?
Chris brought it up earlier. I think it was Chris that said it. Ian Hamilton, man, he's been terrible. I hope that it turns around soon because He's been one of my favorite arms to watch, and he was so good to start the season. But man, he's really been unreliable lately. That ERA is skyrocketed up to over 3, and that's not a good number really for a guy of his stature. He needs to get it going because we need him to be that setup man to Clay Holmes.
I agree. I completely agree. Tats, who's getting the L for you?
Yeah, most of yesterday, I really didn't even have anybody for the L award, but but no, Hamilton's got to get his shit together. We need him to go back to being a little more stable. He's kind of falling. Yeah, I don't want to. I was very high on him this offseason. I want to see him get back to himself.
So Hamilton for you too. Me, yeah, I agree. Clean sweep. Hamilton's the only one that didn't pull his weight. Even Gleyber Torres pulled his weight significantly. He had a great series.
Even Tonkin pulled his weight.
Hamilton. I'd prefer Linda Hamilton from Terminator to be our reliever right now. She has some balls. She's got some guts. She'll get the outs. This guy ain't getting no outs. He looks terrible. Do better, Hamilton. So yeah, he gets the L for me too. Let's ask the fans. Looks like
A lot of Hamiltons.
Yeah, wow, ton of Hamiltons. My God, everyone's down on Hamilton. Do better, Hamilton. You're getting the L from everybody. Clean sweep. Let's go to the Aaron Boone Award out of 10. AB, what are we giving AB?
I got a 10 out of 10. Another series sweep. Offense is, clicking. Pitching is clicking. Nobody's falling off. Well, except for Hamilton, but it's bullpen arms. It's going to happen. But no, I give him a 10 out of 10.
And Rob.
Spoiler alert, guys. Ian Hamilton's about to go on an outstanding streak because we're criticizing him. So that's how it works. Aaron Boone gets a 10 out of 10. Yeah. You swept them. A team you're supposed to beat. Nothing went really wrong aside from that one rough inning. You can't. And it's so important that Sean just brought that up. They're not punting lineups. They could have easily sent out Jahmai Jones yesterday. They could have put Grisham out there. Judge is playing every day. Volpe's playing every day aside from that illness he had where he had the shits. He had to give Rizzo a day off. Everyone's playing. They're not punting. That's a 10 out of 10 for Aaron Boone.
Yeah, Boone's killing it this year.
He really is, guys. He really is. That looks like the fans are all pretty much unanimous. He's getting a 9. There's like 6 9s and 2 10s, so he's getting a very high rating. So the fans are giving him a 9, and I will give him a 10. You're getting another 10 for me. I can't argue with him. I mean, even putting in Hamilton, that's, to be honest, like, that's what you'd expect. It's his role, so can't complain there. He went to Clay Holmes when he needed him to. He gave good length to our starters who merited it. And he's sending out consistent lineups. So, and his move to bring in Birdie paid off too. So, like, how can you argue? He had an excellent series. AB, he's low key having a brilliant start to the year. I hope it continues. Really. So that's that. Now we go to the Aaron Hicks Award for the worst of the worst. And I will kick off this one. I might need to change this award to the John Flaherty Award because, my God, he's such a terrible announcer. The telecast again this series was so boring, so lifeless, and to be honest, even the Yes Network was taking a massive L because they were missing outs. Like they missed Trevino throwing out the runner at third for one, and like some great moments happened, and John Flaherty was just calling it like he was having a stroll through Central Park. It was like nothing was exciting him. And also, I mean, we love Paul O'Neill, but my God, can we stop talking about 1973? Everything was everything about. Oh my God, we're going on about Ted Williams. We're talking about the guy that that hired the first African American player, and it was going way back. We were going through the history of baseball, and we weren't even covering the actual game. I mean, I love the history of baseball. I live the history of baseball, but I mean, there's a time and a place, right? It's not a Hall of Fame ceremony. It's an actual game. There's plenty of things to be talking about. Talk about what's actually happening in front of you. So that's what happens a lot with the Yes Network. They go on and on and on about 1973. It's great and all, but my God, like you can maybe talk about it for an inning, but like all nine, give me a break. And it's so boring. John Flaherty's boring. Paul O'Neill, he's the best of a poor bunch right now. I really don't care that John Flaherty faced Frank Thomas in single A. I could care less. Why are you talking about it? What does Frank Thomas have to do with anything? Oh God. So anyway, it was a terrible telecast. I don't know what Michael K is doing. He gets another L. Michael K, it's your job, dude. Right? The Yankees are your job. I know you also do the ESPN radio show, but I think priority wise, the Yankees should take precedence here because we have nobody while Rucco can't do anything. Until Rucco can start calling some games, we need you, bro. We need you, right? Because he is the GOAT in comparison to this shit. He really is. Because at least he's excited about some home runs. Holy God, it's terrible. Terrible. The S Network is it's gone from one of the best to one of the worst.
It's terrible.
So bad. Right, anyway, let's go to Rob.
Yeah, Flaherty was terrible, but I'm expecting it now. Every time I hear his voice, I kind of just put the TV on mute. Like I'll listen to the radio. Well, now Sterling's gone, so I try to align it sometimes with Pete when he's doing his game season, but it's difficult to get the timing perfect where he is. Sometimes I just watch the game on mute and I'll do something else while the TV's on in the background because I can't listen to him. But I'm giving it to that small group of fans that found something to complain about this weekend because Clay Holmes has a new entrance song for when he comes into the game, and they're mad that it's not like as catchy as Enter Sandman was. The dude likes country music. I don't. I never did. But am I going to start attacking the guy or get mad at the guy because he likes country music? It looks cool. I come down, you know who's coming out. The Jumbotron, you just know right now who's coming to the fucking ninth inning of the game, and they're complaining about it. It's not Enter Sandman. You knew when Mo was coming in, shit was going to get locked down. What has Clay Holmes done this year? He's locked it down. Let him have his choice of song. So my frick award goes to those idiots that were finding something to complain about during a 7-game winning streak.
I love it. I personally love it. Now I don't care about the song. I'm not either way on it. It's not the worst country song I've ever heard in my life, but I don't like country music, so I'm the same as you, Rob. But at the end of the day, let him go to whatever song he likes. You know what I mean? Let her ride. I don't care. I don't care if he's got Britney Spears as his favorite song. I could care less, right? As long as he's getting the outs and he's up for it, and I love that. I love that it's another aspect to Yankee Stadium. It's another aspect to look forward to in a game. Ninth inning, get the big music, we get the lights and all that stuff. I think that's some cool stuff. So I have no issues, and Clay Holmes can walk out to the Spice Girls. Facts, absolute facts. So I don't care.
Yeah, and Spencer, I just saw you sent a couple messages. Before I give mine, I'm going to give you his L. He says he's giving an L. I know we're on the but he goes, Justin Shackle on the radio side, who wasted time trying to FaceTime with Susan Wallman during the broadcast, where even Meredith, who was filling in, was kind of looking at him like it was in poor taste. And so that was
trying to FaceTime on the radio.
Yeah, I don't know. it was really weird because Shackle's been pretty good because I listen to him from work all the time. Because my L, right? It's got to be also. We have to criticize all the people hating on Keith McPherson for filling in for those first 2 games for Susan while she took some time off. where they kept saying he was you didn't earn his time for the booth. Go fuck yourselves. Like, he's legit. He's a great fan. He knows his stuff.
It's a good dude. Really nice guy.
Yeah. So to anybody that wants to keep criticizing Keith for everything he's accomplishing that you probably could never do, yeah, go F yourselves.
I mean, to be honest, like, what has John Flaherty done to earn any more than McPherson? McPherson's done fine. End of the day, what I appreciate about the radio is that they're giving it a chance. They're trying different things. They're giving Meredith Morokovich a run at it. Shackle. They're giving McPherson. They're giving a bunch of guys a chance. I like that. It's better than this boredom that we have to watch on the TV while Michael Kay takes days off for no reason during May. So salute to them. And Susan is a true legend. I'd much prefer to have Susan doing the telecast. I hate to say it. I don't hate to say it. Actually, I'm happy to say it. Much prefer to have her doing the telecasts because she's knowledgeable and she's a good person.
No, it's why if the Yankees are home, why is Michael Kay not in the freaking booth? Where'd he go? I can see sometimes he doesn't take the road trips, but they're home games. Get to work.
I'll be honest, I don't miss him. I know Flaherty's bad, but Michael Kay, if you listen, I'm going to sound like an old man here, but when you watch like how much you listen to how much enthusiasm he had in the early 2000s, I'm not even going to bring up the dynasty. Everyone had excitement during that. Yeah. A snail would make noise during the 90s dynasty. But this man would have energy for anything. A base hit down the line in the third inning, he would call it like it was like a walk-off single. Now he's just kind of like, it is what it is. He doesn't even get excited anymore. So I don't miss Michael Kay. I
disagree. When Juan Soto hit that 3-run bomb and the stadium exploded, he was like, "That's the amazing Soto!" Like, he was going nuts. It was
once
great.
in a while.
So he had one.
Yeah, he has once in a while. But like lately, he does the same stuff where drill on when it's him, Cohen, and O'Neill. It's like one of the worst broadcasts in baseball, in my opinion, because they go on and on and on about ice cream. And do you like sprinkles, Paul? And it's things like that.
That's
I don't want to listen to that crap. So I don't know. I got to find a different broadcast or something. I think I'm going to try my best when I can watch a game top from first inning to the ninth to time it with somebody that's calling the game, whether that's Pete or anybody else that does play-by-play. Maybe we should start doing some games as well.
Facts.
I gotta listen to somebody else because I don't like Kay very much. I can't deal with Flaherty. I don't like to listen to the radio, especially if someone's trying to FaceTime somebody and you can't see them. So stop. Let me get my blood pressure up.
Holmes gonna come out to Shove It. Was that the Deftones song? My Own Summer, Shove It? Or
yeah, that's it. That's what I thought of.
Like that one. If he came out to that, I would be delighted.
That'd be awesome.
The intent would be headbanging.
That is going to wrap things for us today. Hope everybody did enjoy the show as much as we did. If you have not already, hit that like button, hit that sub button, share this out with your friends, your family, the stranger on the corner. And as I always like to say, widows pinch your pride and play hard.
8 straight, baby. Let's go.